Did you know that in 2025, California could legalize psychedelics, force AI companies to reveal their secrets, and make your favorite gas-powered lawn tools illegal? It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it's real, and it's happening. Over 24 new laws are rolling out across the state, and some of them will completely change the way you work, live, and even think. From raising wages in fast food to giving school kids mandatory AI education, these laws aren't just minor updates. They're bold, controversial, and in some cases, downright shocking. One law even allows for hallucinogenic therapy under government supervision. Sounds crazy, right? But it's backed by major universities and quietly passed while few are watching. In this video, we're breaking down the top 10 California laws changing in 2025, and you won't believe number 3. Whether you're a resident or just curious, this is something you need to know. Stay tuned. Number 1. Digital Privacy Expansion Act. Imagine your phone, smartwatch, or even your fitness tracker collecting personal data about you 24/7, then quietly selling that information to advertisers, insurance companies, or even third-party data brokers. Creepy? Absolutely. But until now, that kind of digital surveillance has been shockingly easy and completely legal. That's where SB 1038, California's new Digital Privacy Expansion Act, comes in. Set to take effect in July 2025, this law gives everyday users more power and transparency over how their data is collected, stored, and shared, especially from wearables and app-based platforms. Companies will now be legally required to disclose exactly what data they're collecting and why. More importantly, users will have the right to opt out without losing access to the app or service. And here's the game changer. This law extends to biometric data like your face, voice, heart rate, and even sleep patterns. That means your smartwatch can't just send your heart rate to third parties without your consent. According to a 2023 UC Berkeley study, nearly 68% of Californians had no idea their wearable tech was sharing sensitive health info. This law changes that. For businesses, it means adapting fast or facing massive fines and legal action. For consumers, it means reclaiming control in a world where privacy has become a luxury. It's a massive win for digital rights, and it could set a precedent for other states to follow. If you've ever felt like your devices were listening to you, well, you weren't wrong, but now you get a say. We put a ton of research and effort into videos like this to bring you valuable, eye-opening content. If you learned something new, drop a comment with your thoughts. We read every single one. And hey, subscribing is just one click, but it means the world to us.
Number 2. Right to repair law. Ever had your phone break only to be told it's unfixable unless you go to an official repair center and pay almost as much as the device cost? That frustrating experience is exactly what California's new Right to Repair law, AB 2116, is putting an end to in 2025. Starting in July, tech giants like Apple, Samsung, and others will be legally required to provide consumers with access to parts, tools, and manuals needed to repair their own electronics. We're talking smartphones, laptops, washing machines, and even farming equipment. For the first time, you don't have to go through the manufacturer just to replace a battery or fix a cracked screen. This law empowers independent repair shops and even regular people to fix their own gear without voiding warranties or relying on overpriced service centers. It's also a big win for the environment. According to Cal Recycle, California throws away over 46,000 tons of electronic waste every year. With repair now a viable option, we can cut down on landfill pollution and extend the life of our devices. And the kicker? The law includes penalties for manufacturers who deliberately make repairs harder through software locks or tamper-proof screws. It's no longer just bad practice, it's illegal. This is more than a tech update. It's about consumer freedom, environmental responsibility, and breaking free from corporate control. So next time your phone breaks, don't panic. Thanks to AB 2116, you might just fix it yourself and save hundreds while doing it. We pour hours of research, editing, and writing into making these videos stand out. If you found this valuable, let us know in the comments what you'd love to repair if you have the right tools. And don't forget, subscribing is totally free, but it fuels everything we do.
Number 3. Psychedelic therapy legalization. This one sounds unbelievable, but it's 100% real. In 2025, California is opening the door to legal psychedelic therapy, allowing substances like psilocybin and MDMA to be used in controlled, supervised medical settings. Yes, the same substances once labeled as dangerous are now being recognized as powerful mental health tools. So why the sudden shift? Because the science is impossible to ignore. Major studies from leading research institutions have shown that psychedelic-assisted therapy can dramatically reduce depression, PTSD, anxiety, and addiction, especially in patients who didn't respond to traditional treatments. In some trials, people reported life-changing improvements after just 1 or 2 sessions, something years of medication couldn't achieve. But don't picture party drugs or reckless use. This law is strictly regulated. Sessions must be guided by licensed professionals in approved facilities with medical screening before and psychological support after. Think of it less like getting high and more like rewiring the brain under supervision. Patients lie down, wear eye masks, listen to calming music, and work through deep emotional patterns with trained therapists present. What makes this law even more controversial is who it helps most: veterans with PTSD, people battling severe depression, and individuals stuck in cycles of addiction. For many, this could be the first real hope after years of suffering. Critics worry about misuse, but supporters argue that regulation is safer than prohibition. Whether you see it as revolutionary or risky, one thing is clear: California is once again rewriting the future of healthcare, and this law alone could influence how the entire country treats mental health. We spend countless hours researching and crafting these videos to bring you the full picture. Tell us, do you support this law or not? Drop your thoughts below, and if you appreciate the effort, subscribe with one click. It truly keeps this channel alive.
Number 4. Fast food minimum wage increase. Starting April 1st, 2025, California's fast food industry will be making history, and not just on the menu. Thanks to AB 1228, the state will officially raise the minimum wage for fast food workers to $20 per hour, making it the highest fast food wage in the nation. This law affects more than just paychecks. It impacts over 500,000 workers, from cashiers and cooks to delivery drivers. For many, it's not just about more money, it's about basic survival in one of the country's most expensive states. According to a 2024 report from the Economic Policy Institute, a fast food worker in California must work 72 hours a week at the old minimum wage just to afford a one-bedroom apartment. That's not sustainable. Supporters say this new wage will improve employee retention, reduce poverty, and ensure fast food jobs aren't just seen as temporary. But not everyone's cheering. Franchise owners warn that this could lead to menu price hikes, automation, or even job cuts. Some chains have already begun testing robot fryers and self-order kiosks to balance the costs. Still, for workers who've been stuck at $15.50 an hour, this is a major leap forward, a signal that their work matters and deserves fair compensation. And for customers, you might pay a little more for that burger, but now you'll know the person serving it is finally earning closer to a livable wage. No matter which side of the counter you're on, this law changes the fast food game forever. The question is, will other states follow California's lead or fight back? We dive deep to unpack laws that impact real people, and we'd love your input. Do you think $20 an hour is too much or not enough? Drop your take in the comments, and if you want to support content like this, subscribe. It's just one click, but makes a huge difference.
Number 5. AI Use Transparency Act, SB 893. If you've ever applied for a job online, chatted with customer support, or scrolled through product recommendations, you've likely interacted with AI, and you probably didn't even know it. That's exactly what California's AI Use Transparency Act, SB 893, aims to change in 2025. Under this new law, businesses will be required to clearly disclose when artificial intelligence is being used, whether it's reviewing your resume, making decisions about your loan application, or chatting with you on a support line. No more hidden algorithms or pretending a chatbot is a real person. If AI is involved, you'll know. Why does this matter? Because algorithms, while fast and efficient, can carry bias. A 2023 MIT study found that some AI hiring tools unintentionally filtered out qualified candidates based on factors like age, zip code, or even gaps in employment history. By forcing transparency, this law gives people a fighting chance to question or appeal decisions made by machines. The act also mandates internal audits to make sure companies are monitoring their AI systems for fairness and accuracy. And if they're caught hiding it or failing to comply, they could face major penalties and public backlash. This law is a big step toward accountability in a world that's increasingly run by algorithms. It won't stop AI from being used, but it ensures you're aware when it is. And that simple awareness, it can change everything, from how you apply for jobs to how you make buying decisions. So next time you get a suspiciously fast reply from a company, you'll know whether it's a human or just another line of code. We work hard to turn complex laws into real stories that matter to you. If this hit close to home, share your experience in the comments. And if you're learning something new here, hit subscribe. One click helps us keep this going. Number 6. Climate Accountability Bill. We've all seen companies slap green labels on their products, but how do you know if they're actually reducing emissions or just greenwashing their image? That's exactly what California's Climate Accountability Bill, SB 253, is targeting in 2025. This law demands real climate transparency from the state's biggest corporations. Starting next year, companies making over $1 billion annually that do business in California will be legally required to disclose their greenhouse gas emissions, including not just their direct operations, but their entire supply chains. That means we'll finally know how much pollution is tied to everything from clothing brands to delivery services. Why is this so groundbreaking? Because up until now, most corporate climate data has been voluntary, vague, or incomplete. According to the Environmental Defense Fund, more than 70% of corporate emissions come from outside a company's direct control, hidden deep in supply chains. SB 253 changes that by bringing those numbers into the light. And it's not just about public shaming. This data will be audited and published annually, creating pressure from investors, consumers, and regulators. Imagine picking up your favorite coffee or shoes and seeing the exact carbon footprint on the label. That's the kind of accountability this law makes possible. Some business groups are already pushing back, calling it costly and complex. But supporters argue that if California, the world's 5th largest economy, sets this standard, other states and even countries will follow. It's not just a law, it's a climate wake-up call, and it's coming fast. We dig deep to bring you stories the headlines miss. So tell us, should companies be forced to show their emissions? Let us know below. And if you appreciate this kind of content, hit subscribe. It's one click, but it fuels our mission. Number 7. Zero-emission landscaping equipment ban. Love that freshly cut grass smell? It might come with more than just nostalgia. Gas-powered lawn equipment, like mowers and leaf blowers, produce more air pollution per hour than a typical car. Shocking, right? That's why California is taking bold action with AB 1346, a law that bans the sale of new gas-powered landscaping equipment starting in 2025. The numbers are wild. According to the California Air Resources Board, using a gas leaf blower for just 1 hour creates the same emissions as driving a Toyota Camry for over 1,100 miles. That's not just bad for the planet, it's dangerous for the workers inhaling those fumes day after day. This new law will require all new commercial and residential landscaping tools, including mowers, trimmers, and blowers, to run on zero-emission electric power. And to help with the transition, the state is offering rebate programs to landscapers and homeowners who switch to electric gear. It's a major move toward cleaner air, especially in neighborhoods where landscaping noise and pollution are a daily reality. Plus, electric tools are quieter, cheaper to maintain, and more efficient in the long run. Critics argue that small businesses may struggle with the upfront cost, but with rebates and rising gas prices, going electric might actually save money over time. This law isn't just about gardens, it's about public health, environmental justice, and the future of how we care for outdoor spaces.
California is again setting the pace, and the rest of the country is watching. We dig through policy, data, and science to deliver stories that matter. Tell us, should this law go national? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if this content matters to you, hit that subscribe. It's just one click, but it keeps us going strong. Seed Battery Plus.
Number 8. Tenant protection expansion. California's housing crisis isn't new, but this law is. With AB 1487, the state is extending stronger protections for renters starting in 2025. It's designed to give tenants more stability in a market where prices are sky high and evictions can happen with little warning. Under this new law, landlords will face tougher restrictions on evictions and stricter rules for raising rent. That means no more sudden notices to vacate without just cause, and longer warning periods before a tenant can be legally removed. For many renters living paycheck to paycheck, this could be the difference between staying housed or becoming homeless. According to a recent UCLA study, nearly half of California renters spend over 30% of their income on housing, with little left over for food, transportation, or emergencies. AB 1487 aims to change that by closing loopholes that have allowed landlords to hike rents or evict tenants under vague renovation or owner move-in claims. Critics argue it could discourage new property development, but housing advocates say it's about protecting people, not just profits. After all, no one should lose their home because of an unexpected rent increase or a 30-day eviction notice. This law brings California one step closer to fairer, more humane housing practices. If you're a tenant, this law could give you the breathing room you've desperately needed. If you're a landlord, it's time to understand where the line is now drawn. Either way, AB 1487 is reshaping how housing rights are defined in the Golden State. We tell the stories that impact everyday people because we are everyday people. Share your rental experiences below. Your story might help someone else. And if you want to keep seeing content like this, hit subscribe. It's just one click, but it powers everything we do. Number 9. Firearm Safety Certification. Gun laws in California are already among the strictest in the country, but SB 2 is taking it even further in 2025. This new legislation dramatically tightens the rules for who can carry a concealed weapon in public, adding layers of safety checks and accountability. Under the new law, anyone applying for a concealed carry permit, CCW, must now complete extensive firearm safety training, including live fire exercises and mental health screenings. The goal? To ensure that those carrying weapons in public aren't just legally approved, they're fully prepared and mentally fit to do so. Why now? A Stanford study in 2024 showed a significant correlation between concealed carry and an uptick in gun-related incidents in certain counties. SB 2 aims to address that by limiting permits to individuals who truly demonstrate responsibility, need, and capability, not just desire. It also introduces a new sensitive places doctrine, which bans concealed firearms in schools, parks, public transit, government buildings, and other high-risk areas, regardless of whether the carrier has a permit. This move echoes recent concerns around mass shootings and seeks to balance Second Amendment rights with public safety. Supporters call it a smart step toward common-sense gun control. Critics argue it unfairly limits personal freedoms. But one thing is clear: California is drawing a harder line when it comes to who can carry and where. If you're a gun owner or simply care about public safety, this is a law worth understanding because it could directly affect where you live, work, and go to school. We tackle tough topics that impact real communities. We'd love to hear your perspective. Does SB 2 go too far or not far enough? Drop your take below. And if you value balanced breakdowns like this, hit that subscribe. It's just one click, but it makes all the difference. Number 10. Mandatory AI curriculum in public schools. What if your 6th grader knew more about artificial intelligence than most adults? That's the goal behind AB 984, a groundbreaking new law that makes AI literacy a required subject in California's public schools starting in 2025. This isn't just about teaching kids how to code, it's about preparing them to understand, question, and work with AI in a world where it's already shaping everything from social media feeds to job applications. Beginning in grade 6, students will learn how AI works, where it's used, what its risks are, and how to think critically about its influence. California is the first state to roll out a statewide AI curriculum developed with help from top educators, computer scientists, and ethicists. Students won't just be learning about technology, they'll be taught how to spot bias in algorithms, how to protect their data, and how to use AI tools responsibly. In other words, they'll grow up not just as consumers of tech, but as informed digital citizens. According to a 2024 report by the Brookings Institution, AI-related jobs are expected to grow by nearly 40% over the next decade, yet most schools still treat AI like a niche topic. This law flips that narrative, giving California students a serious head start in the job market and helping them navigate an increasingly digital society with confidence. Whether you're a parent, a teacher, or just someone who worries about how fast AI is evolving, this law is a bold move toward future-proofing education. We put real effort into explaining laws that shape tomorrow's world. If you're passionate about the future of education, tell us what you think. Would you want your kids learning AI in school? And hey, if this video helped you see things differently, please hit subscribe. It's just one click, but it means everything to us.
From psychedelic therapy and AI education to zero-emission landscaping and digital privacy rights, California's 2025 laws aren't just changes on paper. They're signals of a state racing toward the future. Whether you agree with them or not, these laws will affect how people live, work, learn, and even heal. Some of these changes are bold, even controversial, like allowing psilocybin in mental health clinics or raising fast food wages to $20 an hour. Others, like requiring transparency in AI hiring or banning gas-powered leaf blowers, seem small until you realize how deeply they touch everyday life. And when you zoom out, one thing becomes clear. California is shaping national conversations, and where it leads, others often follow. So whether you're a California resident, a policymaker in another state, or just someone curious about where the world is heading, these are the kinds of laws you can't afford to ignore. They raise big questions. How should technology be used? What does a fair wage look like? Who gets to decide how we live? But this isn't just about laws. It's about people like you staying informed and engaged, because change doesn't start in a courtroom or a legislature. It starts with conversations, with curiosity, and with a willingness to understand.